What can 2,000 Canadian dollars actually get you in 2026? With the current AI boom completely frying the GPU, SSD, and RAM prices, 2,000 Canadian dollars today is definitely not going to buy you anything that you would have back a few months ago. But if you could stay and watch the entire video, I can show you how you could utilize that budget to build a super clean all-white aesthetic gaming PC that can handle almost every game at 1440p while having that 16GB of VRAM. But first, if you don't want to have to deal with the headache of finding the parts, putting it together, and then testing it to see if it fully works together, then you could check out my website woostonstechflip.ca, where I have fully built and tested custom gaming PCs for sale locally ready for you to pick up and start gaming. The link is down in the description if you are interested. If you're not, then let's continue with this PC build guide. First up, in a full disclosure, I didn't actually buy all three of these parts together in one pre-packaged bundle, but at Memory Express for Canada computers, they frequently have bundles available with similar parts, so the cheapest one I could find right now is sitting at that $773 price tag after taxes at Memory Express, and that's the price I'll count it in this build guide. For the CPU, we are running with the AMD Ryzen 5 9600X. It's a 6-core 12-threaded Zen 5 processor with a 3.9 GHz base and a boost up to 5.4 GHz. It also has 32 MB of L3 cache, which is pretty great for FPS and gaming. Before you complain about only getting 6 cores in a $2,000 build, this is a Zen 5 CPU, so it does have better gaming performance than even a Ryzen 7 5800X 3D that's selling for double the price. If you're currently using a 9600X as well, leave a like on this video. I want to see how many of you are happy with the CPU. Anyways, because it is on AMD's modern AM5 platform, you get great upgrade path to drop in an 8th, 9th, 10th, or maybe 11th gen X3D chip down the road without needing brand new motherboard. Speaking of motherboard, the MSI B840M-P Wi-Fi 6E M-ATX board is what we are using today, and honestly, it is in my opinion a great sleeper option. Yes, it only goes up to Gen 4 speeds for PCIe and M.2 slots as opposed to a B850 board, but you are still getting 2 M.2 slots, 4 RAM slots with Expo support, and Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth built in. Plus, because you can't overclock on the B840 chipset, it's even safer for your CPUs as it's even less likely to blow up randomly. On top of that, it's got a decent VRM design with the heatsink on top, a built-in I/O shield, and has all the USB ports you ever need inside and outside of the PC. Plus, and this is very important to me, it has 3 built-in 5V ARGB headers, so you can have like 15 ARGB devices connected at the same time without a controller hub. For the memory, we're once again using the 16GB kit 2x8GB of white XPG DDR5 running at 5600 megatransfer CL46.
16 gigs in a $2,000 build? What a scam!
Okay, I hear you, but here's the thing. In 2026, memory prices are absolutely cooked thanks to the shortage, so you literally do not have a choice in this budget unless you compromise with other performance parts in the build. Yes, 16GB is a little tight for heavy multitasking, but for pure gaming, it gets the job done without costing you another kidney. But let me know down in the comment section below if you're willing to go with 16GB of RAM in a $2,000 PC or sacrifice on some of the specs to get 32GB of RAM instead. Now for the second inflated item in this build, we're using this Lexar Thor Pro 1TB PCIe Gen 4 NVMe SSD that I have on hand, which is not what you're gonna be using, because for you, the cheapest 1TB M.2 drive is going to cost you about $230 after tax. So just grab whichever one is in that price point when you're following this build guide. For my Thor drive, has a read speed of 7,000 megabytes per second, a write speed of 5,000 megabytes per second, and no DRAM cache, but honestly, who actually cares? But because Gen 4 SSDs usually tend to run pretty hot under load, plus the MOBO has no built-in heatsink, I went on AliExpress and picked up a basic metal M.2 heatsink for just $5 shipped to my doors. It will be able to keep the SSD chilly and will go perfectly with that white theme for today's build. Next up, to cool our Ryzen 9600X, I snagged this Thermalright FW240 SE ARGB white AIO cooler for just $67 on Amazon after tax when it was on sale. It's got a small magnetic LCD screen to show up the custom GIFs and system information, and honestly, it's way more than enough to cool the CPU. But at the time of editing this video, this exact model is no longer at that sale price, but don't you worry, because there are tons of 240 AIOs sitting at around that $6-7 mark after taxes everywhere else. So you could just go with that one if you're still following the build guide. Now, for the meat and potato of this build, we're using the Sapphire Pure RX 9060 XT 16GB graphics card. At the time of recording though, the cheapest white 9060 XT 16GB would be around $750 after tax in BC, so just go with the cheapest you could find. And for the most part in 1440p, this AMD card should be more than enough for a lot of gamers out there, plus it should easily satisfy all those nerds out there telling gamers to have have a 16GB GPU in 2026. Now, in order to power everything in today's build, we're using the Sama GT750W 80 Plus Gold fully modular unit from Newegg for $96 once again. I've used tons of these Sama units in my local flips over the past couple of years, and honestly, they've been super reliable. And they are said to be made with Japanese capacitors. It's rated B on the PSU tier list and rated Gold by Cybernetics. It's also fully modular, so cable management is going to be super easy and super clean. Plus, it being a 750W unit means that it'll give us plenty of headroom for future GPU upgrades. And if you're currently using this power supply in your rig, you have to smash that subscribe button. Finally, to house everything in today's video, we're going with the AeroCool D302 8M-ATX case that I got off Amazon for just $79 after tax. It's a clean MATX case with a glass side panel and a front mesh panel. It also has lots of room in the PSU basement for extra SATA drives and plenty of space for a clean cable management job. Also, it does have 4 built-in ARGB fans with a hub, so I don't have to install my own fans once again. At the time of editing though, it does not seem like the AeroCool cases are available anymore. So just go with any case you could find for under 80 bucks from anywhere else. With all that being said, let's look at the price tally for today's video. And you can see it comes out to exactly 2,000 Canadian dollars. And I will be listing this locally for $2,000 flat to quickly move on to the next project. As for you other country people out there, here's the conversion rate to your currency. And if you stayed up to this far, thanks for watching, and I'll leave you guys with the benchmarks, and I'll see you guys in the next one.